Ladies and gentlemen, there is a power in her that you cannot see, a strength that cannot be measured, and a destiny that cannot be altered. The world may try to push her down, to silence her, to question her worth, but God himself has placed his hand upon her life. And he said, touch her not, she's anointed. Oh, my friends, listen to me. When God anoints someone, he does not just bless them. He shields them. He positions them. He fortifies them. You can try to stop her, but your opposition will only fuel her ascent. You can try to doubt her, but your disbelief will become her stepping stone. You see, anointed isn't just a word, it's a promise, a divine appointment that no force on earth can overturn. She has endured storms, walked through fires, and faced betrayal, but her faith has never wavered. Every trial was refining her. Every setback was redirecting her. Every heartache was building her resilience. And now, the world will watch as she rises, not in quiet, not in compromise, but in unstoppable, undeniable glory. This is the woman whose prayers shake heavens, whose vision ignites nations, whose life testifies that God's favor is real. Watch her move, for she moves with purpose. Watch her speak, for her words carry authority. Watch her love, for her compassion is transformative. She is marked, she is chosen, and she is protected. So do not mistake her silence for weakness. Do not underestimate her patience. The same God who declared, touch her not, has equipped her with everything she needs to rise above every obstacle. And rise she will, radiant, victorious, and unstoppable. Mark my words, the anointed will rise, not because of the world's permission, but because of God's declaration. And when she rises, she will shake foundations, break chains, and inspire generations. She is a force that cannot be ignored. She is the answer to prayers, the hope for the hopeless, the light in darkness. There is a force in the universe that no enemy can comprehend, a shield that no weapon can penetrate, protection that is both unseen and undeniable. This protection is not earned by strength alone, nor is it granted by influence, nor purchased with wealth. It is a divine decree, a declaration from the creator of heaven and earth. It is God's own hand over the life of the one he has anointed, the one he has chosen, the one he has destined to rise. And when God places his hand upon someone, he says with authority, touch her not. She is mine. She is protected. She is preserved. Let me tell you something. The world is full of opposition. There are forces, both seen and unseen, that will attempt to derail your progress. There are voices that will try to convince you that you are weak, that you are unworthy, that you do not belong. There are circumstances that seem to conspire against you, situations that appear impossible, relationships that wound, and moments that threaten to break you. And yet, divine protection steps in, not to remove the storms entirely, to shield you in ways that you cannot always see. Divine protection is not merely about keeping you from trouble. It is about keeping you in God's purpose. It is about ensuring that the trials you face do not destroy your destiny. It is about walking through the fire and emerging refined, tested, and victorious. It is about being shielded from what would steal your joy, derail your mission, or diminish your calling. When God protects you, he is saying, I have a plan for you, and nothing in the world, no hand, no scheme, no attack can alter it. The Bible is full of stories where God's protection made the impossible possible. He shut lions' mouths. He closed prison doors. He turned storms into calm. Divine protection does not promise a life without challenge. It promises a life with purpose, a life where the divine hand ensures that every trial works together for your good. Your enemies may circle, they may strategize, they may plot. God is with you. The plot cannot succeed. The attack cannot penetrate. The word of God is clear. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Protection is not passive. It is active. It moves with you. It surrounds you. It positions you. It hides you when you are vulnerable and strengthens you when you are weak. It does not come with fanfare. It does not demand applause. It is quiet. It is subtle. And yet it is powerful beyond measure. Divine protection is like an invisible army, unseen by the eyes of men, yet mighty in action. When you feel alone, when you feel vulnerable, when it seems like everyone has turned their back, divine protection is still at work. You may not see it, but it is working. You may not hear it, but it is orchestrating circumstances, moving people and aligning events to keep you safe and to guide you toward your destiny. Some of you have walked through situations that should have broken you, circumstances that should have destroyed you, moments that should have crushed your spirit, but here you are. Why? Because God's protection does not fail, it does not falter, it does not delay. The same God who parted the Red Sea, who shut the mouths of lions, who preserved his children through famine and oppression is the same God who walks with you today. His protection is not an option, it is a promise. Protection is not limited by your ability, your strength, or your understanding. It is limitless, eternal, and unshakable. Divine protection does not always look the way we expect. Sometimes it comes as a closed door, a missed opportunity, a redirected path, or a delay. At times, what seems like a loss is actually a shield. What seems like a failure is actually a preservation of your destiny. Protection often works in mysterious ways because he sees the big picture. You see the moment, but he sees the life. He knows the future. He knows the consequences. He knows the schemes of the enemy, and he acts accordingly. His protection is perfect, even when it does not make sense in the moment. Divine protection also requires faith. You cannot see it, you cannot touch it, you cannot measure it with human eyes. You must trust it. You must believe it. You must walk in obedience even when the path is uncertain. Protection is not just a passive gift. It is activated by trust, fueled by faith, and maintained by surrender. When you say, Lord, I trust you. I yield to your plan. I will walk by faith, not by sight. You are stepping into the power of divine protection. You are saying to the enemy, your plans may fail. God's plans will prevail. Do not confuse divine protection with weakness. Protection does not make you passive. It does not make you helpless. It equips you to rise, to fight, to overcome, and to thrive. It surrounds you with strength when you are vulnerable, gives courage when you are afraid, and provides clarity when you are confused. It is both shield and sword, both armor and guidance. When God protects you, he prepares you to fulfill your destiny. He positions you so that you can not only survive the storm, but also emerge from it stronger, wiser, and more powerful than before. Some of you have been wounded by life. Some of you have been betrayed, attacked, or misunderstood. Some of you have faced situations where the world seemed to be against you. I am here to tell you today, God's protection is real. His hand is over your life. His shield surrounds you. You may not always see it. You may not always understand it, but you are safe in the hands of the Almighty. No plan of the enemy can succeed when God declares, touch her not. She is anointed, she is mine. So walk boldly, step confidently, speak with authority, move with courage. Your life is covered, your destiny is secure, and your calling is unstoppable. Divine protection is not just a blessing. It is a guarantee. It is God himself saying, I am with you. I will preserve you. I will guide you. No harm can touch you. No attack can prevail. You are mine, and I will see you through. Stand in this truth. Rest in this truth. Declare it over your life. Say it with me. Oh, I am protected. I am preserved, anointed. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I am walking in divine protection, and my destiny will not be stolen. Divine protection is real. Divine protection is powerful. Divine protection is unstoppable, and when you fully embrace it, no force on earth can hinder your rise. You are shielded. You are secure. You are untouchable. Now walk in that truth and watch how the hand of God moves in your life to bring you to victory. There is a voice inside you, a calling planted deep in your soul, a purpose that cannot be silenced. This is not something that the world can define. This is not something that circumstances can delay. This is destiny, a divine plan that has been laid out for you before the foundation of the earth. And let me tell you something, destiny, once God declares it, is unstoppable. Too many people live their lives chasing dreams that are not theirs, trying to fit into molds that were never designed for them, living out stories that are borrowed from someone else. But God has placed in you a blueprint, unique calling, a mission that only you can fulfill. Your destiny is unstoppable not because of who you are, not because of what you have, not because of the people around you. It is unstoppable because it comes from the hand of God. When the creator of the universe decrees something, no opposition, no failure, no setback, no disappointment can derail it. Unstoppable destiny is forged in the fire of preparation. It is not instantaneous. It is not always glamorous. It is often shaped by struggles, honed by perseverance, and strengthened by faith. Every obstacle you face, every storm that rages, every door that closes is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to prepare you. Every rejection is a redirection. Every delay is divine timing. Every trial is a teacher. God does not just drop destiny into your lap. He molds it, He shapes it, He tests it, and He ensures that when the time comes, you are ready to step into the fullness of what He has planned for you. Some of you have been waiting. You have been watching others move ahead while you feel stuck. You have been praying, hoping, and wondering, when is my breakthrough? When will my moment come? Let me tell you, your destiny is moving. Even when it seems invisible, God is aligning situations, opening doors, connecting you with people, and orchestrating events in ways that you cannot yet comprehend. Your breakthrough is on the horizon because your destiny is unstoppable. No delay, no disappointment, no detractor can prevent it from manifesting at the right time. Unstoppable destiny is also resistant to fear. Fear is the enemy of purpose. Fear tells you to quit. Fear tells you to settle. Fear tells you that you are not enough. But destiny does not recognize fear. Destiny recognizes faith. Destiny recognizes courage. Destiny recognizes persistence. When God has placed something in your life, He has also given you the power to pursue it, to defend it, and to step into it with boldness. Fear may whisper in your ear, but faith will shout louder, declaring, I will fulfill the calling God has placed upon my life. Unstoppable destiny cannot be stolen by others, nor can it be diminished by circumstances. People may doubt you. They may criticize you. They may attempt to hinder your progress, but destiny is anchored in the divine. It is written in the spiritual realm before it is ever revealed in the natural. It is ordained and it is protected. When you align yourself with God's plan, nothing, absolutely nothing, can prevent you from achieving it. Unstoppable destiny is not always comfortable. It is not always easy. It often requires sacrifice. It may demand that you walk through seasons of isolation, seasons of discipline, and seasons of testing. These seasons are not punishment. They are preparation. They are shaping your character, your faith, and your perseverance. Every trial you endure is strengthening your ability to carry the weight of the destiny God has entrusted to you. The greater the calling, greater the preparation. And those who persevere through the preparation are the ones who step into unstoppable destiny. Unstoppable destiny is also purposeful. It is not just about personal success, fame, or recognition. It is about fulfilling the assignment God has placed on your life to impact others, to inspire change, and to bring light into the darkness. Your destiny is not selfish. It is strategic. It carries influence. It touches lives. It leaves a legacy. When you embrace the fullness of your calling, you are stepping into a force that changes generations, shifts communities, and shapes history. That is what makes destiny unstoppable. Its impact cannot be reversed, its purpose cannot be ignored, and its outcome cannot be altered. Challenge you to love enough and care enough. There are moments when you will be tempted to doubt yourself, to compare your journey with others, or to give up because the path seems too difficult. Unstoppable destiny requires that you remain steadfast, that you persevere, and that you keep your eyes on the vision God has placed before you. Remember, the greatest stories in history were not written by those who gave up. They were written by those who endured, persisted, and pressed forward, even when the odds were against them. Your story is no different. Your destiny is unstoppable because it is written by the author of life itself. Stoppable destiny also requires action. You cannot sit and wait for it to appear. You cannot remain passive and expect the world to align itself perfectly for you. You must move. You must step out in faith. You must do the work, prepare diligently, and act courageously. Destiny will not force itself on you. It will meet you where you are willing to go. Every step you take in obedience, every decision aligned with your purpose, every act of faith brings you closer to the manifestation of the unstoppable destiny God has designed for your life. Finally, unstoppable destiny is a declaration, not just a dream. It is a bold statement that God has called you to greatness, that your life matters. Your purpose cannot be denied. When you embrace this truth, you will no longer live in fear, doubt, or hesitation. You will walk boldly, speak confidently, and act courageously, knowing that the hand of God is upon you. You will rise above opposition, endure trials, shine brightly in a world that desperately needs your light. So stand firm today. Declare it over your life. My destiny is unstoppable. Purpose cannot be denied. God has called me, equipped me, and protected me. No setback can stop me. No failure can define me. I will rise. I will fulfill my calling. I will step into the greatness God has prepared for me. Unstoppable destiny is not just a hope. It is not just a wish. It is a promise. And that promise is alive in you right now. Walk in it, believe it, pursue it, and embrace it. And as you do, you will watch your life transform, your purpose unfold, and your destiny become unstoppable. Life has a way of testing us. It has a way of pressing against our spirit, pushing against our patience, challenging our faith. Trials come in many forms: loss, betrayal, failure, disappointment, sickness, and heartache. They arrive unannounced, often without warning, and they knock at our door demanding attention. Yet it is precisely through these trials that our character is revealed, our strength is refined, and our destiny is fortified. Resilience through trials is not just a trait, it is a necessity for anyone who desires to rise and fulfill the purpose that God has placed within them. Resilience is the ability to endure, to withstand, and to continue moving forward when everything around you seems to be collapsing. It is the unshakable inner strength that allows you to stand firm even when the storm rages. But resilience is not something that is simply given. It is cultivated. It is forged in the furnace of adversity, honed through experience, and strengthened by faith. Every trial you face is an opportunity for growth. Every challenge is a classroom. Every setback is a teacher. Consider the power of resilience in the face of difficulty. When life pushes against you, when circumstances seem impossible, resilience says, I will not be broken. I will not be defeated. I will rise above this. It is the inner declaration that no matter how heavy the burden, no matter how deep the pain, no matter how long the night, you will endure. And here is the secret. Resilience is not about avoiding pain or hardship. It is about learning to thrive despite it. It is about finding strength in weakness, courage in fear, and hope in despair. Trials have a way of revealing what is truly inside of us. They expose our weaknesses, but they also uncover our hidden strengths. They challenge our faith, but they also deepen our trust in God. They test our patience, but they also refine our perseverance. When you embrace resilience, you recognize that trials are not enemies, they are tools of transformation. They are instruments used by God to shape your character, prepare you for greater responsibilities, and align you with your purpose. Some of you have faced trials that seemed unbearable. You have walked through seasons of pain so intense that giving up seemed like the only option. You have experienced disappointment so deep that hope felt distant. But resilience is the force that allows you to stand, to keep moving, and to continue believing. It is the quiet yet powerful determination that says, I will not let this define me. I will not let this destroy me. I will rise stronger than before. Resilience is strengthened by perspective. When you understand that every trial has a purpose, every challenge carries a lesson, every setback is temporary, you are empowered to endure. Life is not happening to you. It is happening for you. Every difficulty is a divine assignment in disguise. Every hardship is a building block for your destiny. Every obstacle you overcome is proof that you are being prepared for something greater than yourself. Faith and resilience are inseparable. Faith is the anchor that keeps you steady in the storm, while resilience is the strength that allows you to weather it. When you trust that God is with you, He has a plan, and that He is working all things together for your good, you are equipped to endure anything. Faith fuels resilience. Resilience strengthens faith. Together, they create an unshakable foundation that allows you to rise above any challenge. Resilience is also about adaptability. Life rarely unfolds exactly as we expect. Plans are disrupted, dreams are delayed, situations change. Resilient people do not resist change. They adapt to it. They adjust their sails in the storm. They pivot when necessary. They continue moving forward despite the shifting winds. This adaptability is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength. It is proof that resilience is not rigid. It is flexible, dynamic, and capable of thriving in any environment. Another dimension of resilience is patience. Enduring trials is not about instant results. It is about perseverance over time. It is about holding on when hope seems distant, believing when the outcome is uncertain, and continuing to take steps forward even when the path is unclear. Patience allows resilience to mature, teaches us that timing is in God's hands and that His plans unfold perfectly even when our expectations are delayed. Resilience through trials also requires self-awareness. You must understand your strengths, acknowledge your weaknesses, and recognize the resources available to you. Resilient individuals know when to lean on faith, when to seek support, and when to press forward independently. They take responsibility for their actions, but they also recognize that they are not alone in the battle. Divine guidance, community support, inner strength all contribute to resilience. Finally, resilience produces triumph. Trials are temporary. The character developed through them is permanent. Every challenge overcome, every obstacle faced, every storm endured leaves a mark of victory. Resilience transforms pain into power, suffering into strength, and setbacks into stepping stones. Those who cultivate resilience through trials do not just survive, they thrive. They rise above adversity with wisdom, courage, and authority. They become living testimonies of the power of endurance. The trials you face are not the end of your story. They are chapters in the narrative of your rise. They are preparing you, shaping you, and equipping you for the destiny that God has designed. Your resilience is the bridge between struggle and triumph, between challenge and victory, between doubt and destiny. Stand firm in this truth. Declare it over your life. I am resilient. I will endure. I will rise above every trial. I will not be broken, defeated, or delayed. My strength is greater than my struggles. My destiny will not be stolen. I am unstoppable. Resilience through trials is not merely a survival skill. It is a divine strategy. It is the engine that drives you toward your purpose, shield that protects your spirit, and the compass that keeps you aligned with your calling. Every storm you face is temporary. Hardship has an expiration date. Every trial is a stepping stone to victory. Embrace your resilience, trust in God's plan, and rise. Because those who endure, those who persist, those who refuse to be defeated, they are the ones whose lives shine as testimonies of unstoppable, victorious, divinely guided purpose. Fear is a natural response to the unknown. It grips the heart, clouds the mind, and threatens to paralyze the soul. It whispers lies, telling us that we are not enough, that the future is too uncertain, that our challenges are too great. Fear is relentless. It attacks at every turn. It questions our worth, and it tries to convince us to give up, to retreat, to settle for less than what we were created to be. There is a force far stronger than fear. There is a power that overcomes doubt, anxiety, and intimidation. That power is faith. Faith is not simply belief. It is trust. It is conviction. It is a divine confidence that God is greater than every obstacle, stronger than every enemy, able to bring life from what appears dead. Faith over fear is the key to unlocking the destiny God has for you. Faith begins with a choice. You can choose to live under the weight of fear, allowing it to dictate your decisions, limit your potential, and hold you back from God's promises. You can choose faith, a faith that believes in the unseen, trusts in the unproven, and obeys the word of God even when circumstances suggest otherwise. Faith is a conscious decision to put your trust in the one who holds tomorrow, to rely on the Creator who knows the end from the beginning. It is the decision to declare, I will not be controlled by fear. I will trust God, even when I cannot see the way. Fear thrives on uncertainty. Faith thrives on the assurance of God's word. When life seems chaotic, when storms rage, and when challenges appear insurmountable, faith anchors us. Faith tells us that no matter what the enemy says, no matter what circumstances appear, God's promises are true. Faith is the rope that pulls us from despair, the light that illuminates the dark path, and the voice that says, keep moving forward, for God is with you. Faith over fear is not passive, it is active. It requires boldness, courage, and persistence. It is not merely thinking positively or hoping for the best. Faith is action in the face of doubt. Faith is moving forward even when the outcome is unclear. Faith is stepping out knowing that God will guide your steps. It is choosing to speak life over your circumstances, to declare victory over the impossible, and to act in alignment with God's promises, even when fear screams that failure is inevitable. Consider the power of faith in the lives of those who have walked before us. The heroes of faith faced giants, storms, and adversaries, yet they pressed forward. They stepped into the unknown, trusting that God would honor his word. Faith enabled them to endure trials, overcome obstacles, and achieve victories that the world deemed impossible. And the same faith that empowered them is available to you today. Fear may try to intimidate you, but faith gives you the courage to rise above it. Faith over fear is also about perspective. Fear focuses on what could go wrong. Faith focuses on what God can do. Fear magnifies problems. Faith magnifies the power of the Creator. When fear tempts you to doubt your worth, question your calling, or retreat from your purpose, faith reminds you of who you are in Christ, of the divine destiny written on your life, and of the promises that cannot fail. Fear looks at circumstances. Faith looks at God. Fear emphasizes limitations. Faith emphasizes possibilities. Living by faith requires perseverance. It requires holding on to God's promises even when the wait is long, the road is rough, and the storms are relentless. There will be moments when fear feels stronger than hope, when doubt clouds your judgment, and when anxiety threatens to consume you. Resilience and faith are intertwined. The longer you hold fast to God, the more your faith grows, and the more fear loses its grip. Faith over fear is not a one-time declaration. It is a daily choice, a constant commitment, and a relentless pursuit of trust in God's goodness. Faith also produces boldness. When you live in faith, fear loses its power to control you. You begin to act courageously in situations that once terrified you. You begin to speak boldly, to step into opportunities, and to pursue God's calling without hesitation. Faith transforms fear into fuel, doubt into determination, and anxiety into action. It is the energy that drives you forward, even when the path seems uncertain, confidence that God will make a way where there seems to be no way. Fear often isolates, making you feel alone, powerless, and vulnerable. Faith connects you to the source of ultimate power. It reminds you that God is with you in every moment, watching over you, guiding you, orchestrating your steps. When you trust God's plan, fear loses its control and peace replaces panic. Faith over fear empowers you to rise above intimidation, resist discouragement, and step boldly into the purpose God has designed for your life. Faith over fear also encourages action despite uncertainty. The world tells us to wait until the perfect moment, to ensure every detail is in place, to guarantee success before moving. Faith says, move now, step out, trust God with the outcome. Faith does not wait for perfect conditions. Trust in the perfect God, it says. Even if I do not see the full path, I will take the next step. Even if the journey is unclear, I will obey. Even if the outcome is uncertain, I trust that God is faithful. Finally, faith over fear produces victory. Fear may try to intimidate, doubt may try to weaken, uncertainty may try to paralyze, but faith triumphs. Faith aligns you with God's power, positions you in His plan, and strengthens you to overcome every obstacle. Every step taken in faith moves you closer to your divine destiny. Every act of courage builds spiritual strength. Every choice to trust God silences the lies of fear. Faith transforms weakness into strength, limitation into opportunity, and fear into fearless action. Fear will not control me. Doubt will not define me. Anxiety will not limit me. I will walk in faith. I will trust God. I will move forward with courage, knowing that He who called me is faithful. My faith is greater than my fear. My destiny cannot be denied. Faith over fear is not just a mindset. It is a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle. It is a commitment to trust God, to take bold steps, to refuse to be paralyzed by what might go wrong. When you live by faith, fear loses its authority. Doubt loses its grip. God's promises come alive in your life. Faith over fear is the key to walking boldly into your purpose, standing firm in the storms, and embracing the unstoppable destiny God has prepared for you. There is a power in you that reaches beyond your own life, a force that can touch generations, shape communities, and transform nations. This power is called influence, but not just any influence. It is empowered influence. It is influence that comes from a higher source, rooted in purpose, guided by wisdom, and fueled by integrity. Empowered influence is not about control, authority, or domination. It is about impact. It is about walking in such alignment with God that your presence, your words, and your actions carry weight far beyond what the world can measure. Influence begins within. You cannot truly empower others if you are not first empowered yourself. It starts with self-awareness, self-discipline, a deep understanding of the calling that God has placed upon your life. Empowered influence requires that you cultivate wisdom, strength, and character. It is built through experience, refined in trials, and tested by challenges. The world may try to undervalue you, overlook you, even oppose you, but true influence comes from a source that cannot be diminished, a source that is eternal, divine, and unstoppable. When God equips someone with empowered influence, He does more than just open doors, He shapes hearts. He positions you in relationships, communities, situations where your voice can inspire, guide, and transform. Empowered influence is about leading by example, demonstrating integrity, and living a life that others want to emulate. It is about walking so closely with God that your actions reflect His wisdom, your words echo His truth. Your life becomes a living testimony of His power. Influence is not about popularity, fame, or recognition. Some of the most influential people in history were not celebrated in their own time. Some were ridiculed, overlooked, and opposed. Yet their impact was unstoppable because their influence was empowered by purpose and anchored in God. Powered influence does not depend on the applause of the crowd. It depends on alignment with divine intention. When your influence is empowered, transcends opinions, surpasses opposition, and leaves a legacy that endures. Empowered influence also comes with responsibility. To have the power to affect lives is to bear the weight of stewardship. Every word you speak, every decision you make, and every action you take has the potential to impact others. The greatest leaders, the most effective visionaries, the most enduring change makers understand that influence is sacred. It is not to be abused or taken lightly. It is a gift from God meant to uplift, guide, and empower others toward their purpose. One of the most beautiful aspects of empowered influence is its ripple effect. When you live with integrity, act with purpose, and lead with courage, your influence extends far beyond your immediate environment. It touches families, inspires communities, shapes generations. One act of faith, one demonstration of courage, or one moment of wisdom can spark a movement. Your empowered influence is a seed planted in the hearts of others, a legacy that continues to grow long after your moment has passed. Influence also requires courage to stand for what is right, to speak truth in the face of opposition, to pursue your calling even when it is unpopular takes boldness. Fear and compromise are the enemies of influence. When you allow fear to dictate your actions, your influence diminishes. But when you step into courage, anchored in God's purpose and fortified by faith, your influence expands exponentially. Empowered influence is not passive. It requires action, boldness, and a willingness to lead when others may falter. Another element of empowered influence is authenticity. People are drawn to those who are genuine, transparent, and true to themselves. Your influence multiplies when it is rooted in honesty, humility, and integrity. Pretension and pretense may attract temporary attention. They cannot sustain lasting impact. Empowered influence is built on trust, credibility, and authenticity. When others see that your life is consistent with your values and your words are aligned with your actions, your influence becomes irresistible. Powered influence is also relational. It is not about controlling others. It is about empowering them. True leaders lift others up, mentor, and guide, creating spaces where others can thrive. Your influence is magnified when you invest in people, when you nurture talent, and when you equip others to rise. This is why empowered influence is so powerful. It is not limited to what you achieve alone. It is multiplied by what you inspire others to accomplish. Faith is central to empowered influence. It is faith that sustains you when opposition rises. It is faith that guides your decisions when uncertainty surrounds you. It is faith that ensures your influence remains anchored in purpose, not personal ambition. When your influence is empowered by God, it becomes a force for good that cannot be shaken by challenges, criticism, or setbacks. Faith transforms influence from ordinary to extraordinary, from fleeting to enduring, and from self-serving to kingdom-impacting. Finally, powered influence is eternal. What you do in alignment with God's purpose has consequences beyond your lifetime. Every act of service, every demonstration of love, every sacrifice made for others, and every step taken in obedience multiplies in ways you may never see. The influence you carry when is empowered by God leaves a mark on the world, shaping generations, inspiring change, and advancing purpose far beyond your own life. I am empowered to influence. I will lead with integrity. I will impact lives for the greater good. My words, actions, and my life carry divine power. I will empower others to rise. I will inspire change, and I will leave a legacy of purpose, courage, and faith. Influence is unstoppable because it is anchored in God. Empowered influence is not about being noticed. It is about making a difference. It is not about seeking control. It is about empowering others. It is not fleeting. It is eternal. Step boldly into your influence, trust in God's guidance, and watch how your life, your words, and your actions create ripples of transformation that will touch the world. You have been equipped, anointed, positioned. Your influence is empowered, and your impact is unstoppable. There is a power in quiet determination, a force in unseen perseverance, a victory in steady endurance. This is what I call silent strength, the kind of strength that does not announce itself with noise, does not demand attention, and does not seek validation. Silent strength is powerful because it is rooted in faith, disciplined in action, and anchored in purpose. It is the ability to endure hardship, overcome obstacles, and continue moving forward without the need for recognition or applause. Silent strength is not weakness disguised as humility. It is courage in its most refined form. It is the calm in the storm, the steady hand in the chaos, the inner power that refuses to break under pressure. Many people believe that strength must be loud, that leadership must be visible, that influence must be flashy. But the truth is, some of the most powerful forces in the world are quiet. They move with intention, act with purpose, endure in ways that go unnoticed until the results manifest. This kind of strength is cultivated through trials. Life has a way of testing those who are determined to rise. It challenges their patience, questions their faith, and pushes them to the brink. Silent strength is born in these moments. It is developed in the heart of adversity, shaped in the fires of testing, and solidified through perseverance. When you face difficulties without complaining, when you endure setbacks without surrendering, and when you keep pressing forward despite obstacles, you are exercising silent strength. Silent strength is also about restraint. It is the ability to control your emotions, manage your reactions, respond with wisdom rather than impulse. There are moments when you are tempted to lash out, to retaliate, or to assert yourself in ways that are destructive. The one who possesses silent strength understands that true power is often revealed in patience, calmness, and thoughtful action. Restraint is not weakness. It is discipline, and discipline is a hallmark of silent strength. One of the most powerful aspects of silent strength is its invisibility. The world may not notice it, critics may dismiss it, adversaries may underestimate it, yet silent strength carries an authority that is undeniable. It is the quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth, understands their purpose, and trusts in God's timing. While others shout, boast, or seek attention, the one with silent strength moves deliberately, strategically, and with unwavering resolve. And when the moment is right, the impact is undeniable. Silent strength is deeply rooted in faith. It trusts in the unseen, believes in the unproven, and relies on God's promises even when circumstances suggest otherwise. It says, I may not be understood, may not be recognized. I know that God is working on my behalf. Faith fuels silent strength because it removes the need for constant reassurance from the world. It allows you to stand firm in the knowledge that your life, your actions, and your purpose are guided by a higher power. Endurance is a critical component of silent strength. Life will challenge you. People will disappoint you. Circumstances will test you. Silent strength is the ability to continue moving forward, to persevere when the path is difficult, to remain steadfast when the world expects you to crumble. It is the quiet determination to keep showing up, keep believing, and keep striving even when the results are not immediately visible. Endurance and patience are twin pillars of silent strength. They allow you to outlast challenges and achieve victory without unnecessary noise or drama. Silent strength also influences others in profound ways. People are drawn to those who remain composed under pressure, act with integrity in difficult situations, lead by example without the need for recognition. Your quiet perseverance inspires others to be stronger, to believe longer, and to endure further. Loud voices may demand attention. Silent strength earns respect, trust, and admiration because it demonstrates consistency, reliability, and character. Aspect of silent strength is resilience. Life may try to break you, but your inner resolve refuses to yield. You bend, but you do not break. You stumble. You rise, you are tested, but you endure. Resilience is the companion of silent strength. It allows you to recover from setbacks, learn from failures, and continue pursuing your purpose with unwavering determination. This resilience, combined with patience and faith, creates an unstoppable force that cannot be ignored. Silent strength does not seek validation from others. It does not require applause, recognition, or approval. It exists independently of external affirmation. This is its power. When your strength is silent, it is anchored in truth, conviction, and purpose in the opinions of others. You are free to act in alignment with God's will, to pursue your calling with integrity, and to live authentically regardless of how the world perceives you. Silent strength is self-sustaining because it relies on what is eternal, not what is temporary. Finally, silent strength is transformative. It changes lives, shifts environments, and influences generations. Demonstrates that true power does not need to be loud to be effective. It teaches others that perseverance, patience, and integrity are far more powerful than aggression, boastfulness, or showmanship. Silent strength is the quiet storm that shapes destiny, the invisible hand that moves mountains, and the steady force that ensures triumph even when no one is watching. I am strong even when no one sees. Powerful even when I remain unseen. I am steadfast even in the midst of trials. I will endure, I will persevere, and I will rise. My strength is quiet, but it is unstoppable. My life is anchored in purpose, and my destiny cannot be shaken. Loud voices fade, attention is temporary, and recognition is fleeting. Silent strength endures. It perseveres. It conquers. It transforms. Stand firm in your faith, trust in God's timing, and walk boldly with the quiet power that cannot be denied. Your strength is silent, your impact is eternal, and your victory is inevitable. There is a rhythm to life that cannot be rushed. There is a season for everything under heaven, a moment for every purpose, and a timing that is orchestrated by a power far greater than our understanding. This is divine timing, the perfect, precise, purposeful unfolding of events according to the will of God. It is a timing that cannot be hurried, delayed, or manipulated by human effort. And those who learn to wait on divine timing discover a peace, a clarity, and a power that is unavailable to the impatient and the hurried. Many of us struggle with timing. We want success now. We want breakthroughs immediately. We want recognition and reward before the process is complete. We become frustrated when doors seem closed, when opportunities are delayed, or when life does not move according to our schedule. Divine timing teaches us that God's plan is far greater than our impatience. What is late by human standards is never late by God's standards. What seems delayed is never denied, and what appears to be a setback is often a setup for something far greater than we can imagine. Divine timing is about alignment. It is about being in the right place at the right moment with the right preparation. It is the synchronization of purpose, preparation, and opportunity. When you try to rush ahead of God's timing, you risk stepping into situations unprepared, making mistakes, missing the fullness of your purpose. But when you wait on God's timing, every step you take aligns with His plan. Every door opens at the right moment. Every blessing comes in its perfect season. Patience in divine timing is not passive. It is active trust. It is preparation, readiness, and faith that what God has planned will arrive at precisely the right time. Consider the seasons of your life. There are moments when you feel dormant, overlooked, or stalled. You may have prayed, worked, and hoped for breakthrough, only to feel like nothing is happening. These are not coincidences. They are seasons of preparation. God is orchestrating circumstances, refining your character, strengthening your faith, equipping you for the moment when His timing will bring the promise to fruition. Every delay has a purpose, and every pause is intentional. God is never late. He is never early. He is always perfectly on time. Divine timing also requires patience, requires that you trust in God's process even when it is not visible, even when it is uncomfortable, and even when it challenges your understanding. Waiting is not inactivity, it is readiness. It is positioning yourself spiritually, mentally, and emotionally so that when the moment comes, you are prepared to step into your destiny with confidence and power. Impatience leads to mistakes, missed opportunities, and unnecessary struggles. Patience in divine timing ensures that when the moment arrives, you are fully equipped to receive, act, and thrive. Faith is essential to walking in divine timing. You must trust that God's schedule is perfect, even when your human perspective cannot see it. Faith says, I may not understand the delay, I may not comprehend the season, but I trust that God's timing is perfect. Faith allows you to remain steadfast, to continue preparing, and to act in alignment with God's will, even when the outcome is not yet visible. It bridges the gap between expectation and fulfillment, between waiting and breakthrough, and between prayer and manifestation. Divine timing also teaches discernment. It requires the ability to recognize when the right opportunity is at hand and when to step forward versus when to remain patient. Many people miss blessings because they act prematurely or enter situations before the time is right. Divine timing allows you to operate with wisdom, to move strategically, and to step confidently when God signals the moment. Waiting does not mean inactivity. It means readiness, discernment, alignment with a higher plan. Another key aspect of divine timing is perspective. What seems like a delay today may be the very thing that prepares you for a greater tomorrow. What feels like a setback may actually be a setup for a bigger breakthrough. Life may not unfold according to our expectations, but God's timing ensures that everything aligns for our ultimate good. When we look back, we often realize that the seasons of waiting, struggle, preparation were exactly what we needed to be ready for the next chapter of our lives. Divine timing also demands surrender. It requires that you relinquish control over the clock of your life, the sequence of events, and the pace of progress. Surrender does not mean passivity. It means trusting that God is orchestrating your life in a way that is perfect, precise, and powerful. It is the willingness to say, Lord, walk in your timing. I will trust your plan. I will be ready for the season you have prepared for me. Surrender opens the door to peace, removes anxiety, and allows you to walk confidently in anticipation rather than in frustration. Seasons of waiting and divine timing also cultivate character. They teach resilience, perseverance, and faithfulness. They refine patience, deepen trust, and strengthen the resolve to remain steadfast under pressure. What you become in the waiting period is just as important as the blessing itself. Divine timing is not just about receiving. It is about becoming the person capable of handling, sustaining, and stewarding what God is about to release into your life. Finally, divine timing ensures that your impact is maximized. When you step into your purpose, according to God's perfect timing, doors open that cannot be shut. Opportunities arise that cannot be replicated, and your influence expands in ways that are extraordinary. Divine timing synchronizes events, circumstances, relationships so that your life produces maximum effect. Your destiny unfolds without unnecessary hindrance, and your purpose impacts generations. I will trust God's timing. I will be patient in the waiting, steadfast in the preparation, and faithful in my steps. I will not rush. I will not compare. I will not doubt. I will walk in divine timing, knowing that every season, every delay, and every preparation is orchestrated perfectly by the hand of God. My breakthrough will come, my purpose will unfold, and my life will align with the perfect timing of the Almighty. Human timing is flawed, impatient, limited. Divine timing is perfect, eternal, and unstoppable. When you align yourself with God's timing, you walk in peace, act with wisdom, fulfill your destiny without delay. Trust and embrace it, and wait with expectancy, because the season you have been waiting for is coming, and it will arrive exactly when it is meant to, with power, purpose, and perfection. There is a power in every life that goes beyond personal success, beyond achievement, beyond individual accolades. That power is the ability to influence, inspire, and impact others, to live in such a way that your words, actions, presence leave a lasting imprint on the lives of those around you. This is the calling of those who are anointed, those who are positioned by God to create ripples of change that extend far beyond themselves. Standing the impact on others is not optional for those with purpose, it is essential. Impact begins with presence. It begins with the recognition that your life carries weight. Your words can build up or tear down. Your choices can inspire or discourage. Actions can transform or diminish. Every interaction is an opportunity to leave a mark. When you are aware of this, you begin to live with intentionality. You begin to consider how your behavior, your attitude, and your influence affect the lives of those around you. Impact is not accidental, it is deliberate, purposeful, and sacred. One of the most profound ways to impact others is through your testimony. Your story, your journey of struggle, triumph, faith, and resilience has the power to inspire hope, ignite courage, and encourage faith in someone else. People are uplifted when they see someone who has walked through the fire and emerged stronger, wiser, and victorious. Your life becomes a living sermon. The obstacles you have overcome, the lessons you have learned, the faith you have maintained are not just for you. They are tools that God can use to impact those who are watching, listening, and learning from your example. Impact is also about service. To influence others in a meaningful way, you must be willing to give of yourself. It is not enough to achieve for personal gain. You must use your gifts, talents, and resources to uplift others. Every act of kindness, every word of encouragement, every demonstration of love and support creates a ripple effect that extends far beyond what you see. Impact grows when you invest in the lives of others, mentoring, guiding, and equipping them to rise into their own purpose. Leadership amplifies impact. Whether you hold a formal position or not, your life can lead others toward growth, purpose, and transformation. True leadership is not about power or control. It is about influence, example, and inspiration. When you live with integrity, speak truth, and act with courage, others are inspired to follow your example. Leadership rooted in service, guided by wisdom, and motivated by faith creates lasting influence. Impact is multiplied when you lead by example, not by instruction alone. Faith is central to impactful influence. When you walk in alignment with God's purpose, your life carries weight beyond your understanding. Faith empowers you to act boldly, speak with authority, demonstrate trust in God even when circumstances are uncertain. When others see your faith in action, it encourages them to strengthen their own faith, to persevere through challenges, and to believe that they too can overcome. Impact rooted in faith is enduring because it is anchored in a source that cannot fail. Resilience also enhances impact. Life will present you with challenges, setbacks, and opposition, but your ability to endure and rise above difficulties demonstrates strength to those around you. People are encouraged not by perfection, but by perseverance. They are inspired by those who continue to move forward, who maintain integrity under pressure, who choose faith over fear. Your resilience is a living lesson in endurance, teaching others that challenges are not the end. They are the forge in which strength and character are formed. Impact is relational. The relationships you build, the way you treat others, and the example you set in your interactions all determine the extent of your influence. Every person you encounter carries a piece of your energy, perspective, and guidance with them. A single encouraging word, a moment of empathy, and an act of selfless service can create a domino effect that changes lives. To impact others, you must be intentional in the way you connect, communicate, and empower those around you. Your impact is magnified when you use your voice to speak truth and encouragement. Words are powerful tools of influence. They can heal, inspire, guide, and transform. When spoken with integrity, love, and purpose, your words reach further than you realize. They carry hope to the discouraged, clarity to the confused, and courage to the fearful. The way you communicate through encouragement, wisdom, affirmation creates a lasting impression that shapes the mindset and destiny of those who hear you. Impact also requires humility. It is not about recognition, applause, or personal gain. True impact is about lifting others, facilitating growth, and empowering them to fulfill their purpose. The most enduring influence is silent in its intent, but powerful in its effect. When you serve without expectation, give without seeking reward, lead without seeking recognition, your impact is magnified. Others are inspired by authenticity and integrity, and your influence resonates long after you are gone. Finally, the impact you create becomes your legacy. Your actions, words, and example leave a mark that extends far beyond your lifetime. Every life you touch, every heart you encourage, every person you empower becomes a testimony to the power of purpose-driven living. Your influence can shape generations, alter trajectories, leave a lasting imprint on the world. Impact is not measured by wealth, position, or fame. It is measured by the lives you elevate, the hope you instill, change you inspire. I will live with purpose. I will influence others with integrity. I will empower, encourage, and inspire. I will be a light in the darkness, a voice of hope, and a source of guidance. My life will impact others positively, leaving a legacy of love, faith, transformation. I am called to influence, and I will rise to fulfill that calling. The measure of a life is not in what we acquire, but in the lives we touch. Your actions matter, your words matter, and your faith matters. Every interaction is an opportunity to leave an eternal imprint. Walk intentionally, act courageously, and influence others with purpose. Your impact is unstoppable when it is rooted in faith, driven by love, and guided by God's wisdom. There is a truth that transcends every obstacle, surpasses every challenge, and overcomes every opposition. Victory is inevitable. This is not wishful thinking. It is not mere optimism. It is the certainty that when your life is aligned with God's purpose, when your faith is steadfast, and when your perseverance is unwavering, triumph is guaranteed. Victory is not dependent on circumstances, approval, or timing. It is a declaration rooted in divine promise, spiritual authority, unstoppable force of determination. Too many people live as though victory is optional. They wait for perfect conditions, for the ideal opportunity, for life to make sense before believing that they can overcome. But victory is not conditional. Victory is not something that requires the absence of struggle. Victory is not delayed, but victory is the road is hard or the opposition is strong. True victory is inevitable because it comes from God, who is faithful, all-powerful, and never defeated. When God ordains a breakthrough, no power on earth can prevent it. Victory is forged in preparation. It is developed in the fires of adversity, refined in the trials of life, and strengthened through perseverance. Every setback you face, every challenge you endure, every disappointment you overcome is a step toward the inevitable triumph God has planned for you. Trials do not signify failure, they signify preparation. They are the crucibles in which your character, faith, and resilience are strengthened. When you understand this, you realize that every obstacle is not a barrier. It is a stepping stone toward your victory. Faith is the foundation of inevitable victory. Faith assures you that even when the world says no, God says yes. Faith tells you that even when doors seem closed, windows of opportunity are being opened in the spiritual realm. Faith empowers you to act boldly, to move confidently, and to persevere courageously. Victory is inevitable when your trust is in God rather than circumstances, when your hope is anchored in His promises rather than the opinions of others, and when your actions are guided by His word rather than fear. Patience is a key companion on the journey to inevitable victory. Many give up too soon because they expect immediate results. They become discouraged when progress is slow or invisible. But God's timing is perfect. His plan is flawless. Waiting is not weakness, it is preparation. It is the deliberate cultivation of strength, wisdom, and readiness for the moment when victory will manifest. The longer you wait faithfully, the stronger you become, the greater the victory will be when it arrives. Persistence is another essential element. Victory is not passive. It requires action, determination, and endurance. It requires getting up after failure, continuing when the path is difficult, and persevering when circumstances seem impossible. Those who achieve victory are not the ones who avoid challenges. They are the ones who face them, overcome them, and refuse to quit. Persistence transforms obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into stepping stones. It ensures that victory is not just possible, but inevitable. Victory is also rooted in mindset. The mind of a victor sees beyond limitations, believes beyond appearances, and acts beyond fear. Those who know their victory is inevitable approach life with courage, confidence, and clarity. They do not allow doubt, negativity, or criticism to derail their purpose. Their focus remains on the promise, the goal, and the destiny that God has ordained. Victory is inevitable for those who cultivate the mindset of a conqueror, believing in triumph before it is seen. Divine alignment guarantees victory. When your life is in harmony with God's purpose, every step, every decision, and every action is part of a greater plan that cannot fail. God is strategic. He does not move haphazardly. Every situation, every encounter, and every challenge is positioned to advance your purpose. When you are aligned with His will, victory is not a matter of chance. It is an absolute certainty. Your faith, obedience, and perseverance ensure that you will prevail regardless of opposition. Victory is transformative. It is not just about achieving a goal or overcoming a challenge. It is about the growth, strength, and wisdom gained along the way. Every struggle endured, every fear confronted, and every obstacle overcome adds to your capacity to lead, inspire, and influence others. The inevitable victory you experience becomes a testimony that empowers, encourages, and elevates those around you. Your triumph is not only personal, it is generational. It impacts families, communities, and even nations. Gratitude strengthens victory. Recognizing that every success is a gift from God, every breakthrough is an answer to prayer. Every triumph is a testimony of faith, deepens the experience of victory. Gratitude keeps you humble, focused, and grounded, preventing pride and entitlement from undermining your achievement. It also inspires others, showing that true victory is not just measured in results, but in character, integrity, and honor. Opposition and challenge do not negate victory, they amplify it. Every adversary, every difficulty, every trial you face is an opportunity to demonstrate faith, perseverance, and strength. When you overcome opposition, your victory becomes undeniable. Proves that your success is not accidental, it is inevitable. Challenges are not roadblocks. They are confirmations of the power, resilience, divine purpose working through your life. Victory is inevitable in my life. I will overcome every obstacle, endure every trial, rise above every challenge. God has equipped me, strengthened me, and positioned me for triumph. I will walk boldly, act courageously, and trust completely, knowing that my victory cannot be stopped. I am a conqueror, a victor, and my destiny is unstoppable. Life may test you, challenges may confront you, and opposition may arise, but none of these can prevent what God has promised. Victory is inevitable for those who trust in His plan, persevere in faith, and act with courage. Stand firm in this truth. Move forward with confidence. Act with purpose. And watch as the victory that is already yours manifests in every area of your life. Victory is inevitable, not because of your strength, not because of your timing, and not because of the absence of opposition, but because God has ordained it. Align yourself with Him, remain steadfast in faith, persevere through trials, and claim the triumph that is already written in your destiny. Your victory is coming and it cannot be stopped.